You're on.
Hi guys, how are you doing today? I am here with the Bible reading. I'm going to show you, I got this oxygen machine thing in the hospital. I forget what they call it. It's got a weird name. But they kept wanting me to do it all the time. And it's supposed to make your lungs stronger. And I could barely get it up to the 500. That's how weak my lungs was. And they kept trying, my nurse kept trying to root me on to get to 1,000. And I could not even get to 1,000. I tried so hard, but I could not get there. But I've been working on this today, and I can get up to the notch right below 1,500. So I'm guessing that's about 1,200. So I have surpassed the 1,000. He'd be very happy if he knew that, and I'm going to write and tell him that too. I don't know if he'll get the message, but it really hurts after I do it. But I did it. I can't do it very long. But I have surpassed the 1,000, and I have made it to right where that yellow mark is. I do not know how, on God's green earth, some people get clear up here. I'm telling you right now, that's never going to happen. My lungs feel like they're going to, in the hospital, they felt like that's going to explode just trying to get them here. But now I'm up to here. And afterwards, my lungs are burning like fire. And you're supposed to try to keep this up here by the vest. I don't know, it's weird. But it's a respiratory thing. Okay. But I'm kind of proud of myself. Okay, so today we're going to be reading Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 through 28, Psalm 25, verses 1 through 15, and Proverbs chapter 6, verses 6 through 11. It's really hot. We got snow and ice and rain coming starting tonight, so if you guys live around here, better go out and get your supplies before tonight. I think it's supposed to start around 8 o'clock. So it's going to be a bad weekend. I know my mom and a friend of mine have already got their appointments canceled for beginning of next week, because it's supposed to be so bad. Alright, so in Matthew today we'll be talking about the parable of the workers in the vineyard. I really like that one. I like them all, you know that. Jesus predicts his death a third time, and the disciples never really understand what he's talking about. And a mother's request, which I think she shouldn't have done that, but it is, you know. Let's get to it. Jesus says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About 9 in the morning he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, 'You also go and work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right.' So they went. He went out again about noon, and about 3 in the afternoon, and did the same thing. About 5 in the afternoon, he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, 'Why have you been standing here all day long, doing nothing?' 'Because no one has hired us,' they answered. He said to them, 'You also go and work in my vineyard.' When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, 'Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going to the first.' The workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon came and each received a denarius. So when those who were hired first, they had been there the longest all day long, they expected to receive more, because they were there longer. But each one of them also received a denarius. But remember, that's what they agreed to. He told them this before they started. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. these who were hired last worked only an hour, they said, and you have made them equal to us, who have bore the burden of the work and the heat all day. But he answered one of them, I am not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give the one who was hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money? Or are you envious because I am generous? So the last will be first, and the first will be last. Now Jesus was going up to Jerusalem. On the way, he took the 12 aside and said to them, We are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and the teachers of the law. They will condemn him to death, and will hand him over to the Gentiles to be mocked and flogged and crucified. On the third day he will be raised to life. Then the mother of Zebedee's sons came to Jesus with her sons, and kneeling down asked a favor of him. What is it you want? He asked. She said, Grant that one of these 2 sons of mine may sit at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom. You don't know what you are asking, Jesus said to them. Can you drink the cup I am going to drink? We can, they answered. Jesus said to them, You will indeed drink from my cup, but to sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those for whom they have been prepared by my Father. When the 10 heard about this, they were indignant with the 2 brothers. Jesus called them together and said, You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must also be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be your slave, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Everybody always wants to be the greatest. They always want to be the best. Just be a good person and do what is right. Act like Jesus. Who cares if you're considered the most important? Some of the people that are considered the most important in this world are the most evil people in this world. You know what I mean? Okay, and our psalm today, Psalm 25, verses 1 through 15, a psalm of David. In you, Lord, my God, I put my trust. I trust in you. Do not let me be put to shame, nor let my enemies triumph over me. No one who hopes in you will ever be put to shame, but shame will come on those who are treacherous without cause. Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me. For you are my God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Remember, Lord, your great mercy and love, for they are from of old. Do not remember the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways. According to your love, remember me, for you, Lord, are good. Good and upright is the Lord. Therefore, he instructs sinners in his ways. He guides the humble in what is right and teaches them his way. All the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful toward those who keep the demands of his covenant. For the sake of your name, Lord, forgive my iniquity, though it is great. Who then are those who fear the Lord? He will instruct them in the ways they should choose. They will spend their days in prosperity, and their descendants will inherit the land. The Lord confides in those who fear him. He makes his covenant known to them. My eyes are ever on the Lord, for only He will release my feet from the snare. And that was Psalm 25, verses 1 through 15, a Psalm of David. We'll continue on with that tomorrow. Okay, in our Proverbs chapter 6, verses 6 through 11. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at its harvest. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. Yeah, ants are very smart. They're good workers. They make sure they have plenty for the winter and everything. You can always see them carrying little things into their... You see, I know it's just a cartoon, but when you watch The Bug's Life, it's really cool. I love that show, that cartoon. You see what's in their tunnels and stuff, how they do it, how they store their stuff. Their tunnels are really cool in there. They're like really deep and they got all these little tracks. You just think it's a hole down there, but it ain't. It's really cool. Like they're really smart. So tiny. They're really smart creatures. Alright guys, so that was our Bible reading. I hope it touched your hearts. Please keep Sherman in your prayers. He's starting to cough again. He's not eating very well. And we're both having other issues still. Let me just say it. COVID diarrhea. He's got it back, and I still have not got rid of it. It is horrible. I don't know when I'm going to get rid of it. I've had it for a month now. The medicine the doctor gave me, 2 different kinds, is not working. Nothing's working. I'm still getting a lot of blood up out of my lungs and my nose. But it still hurts to take a breath. Still on oxygen, of course. Will be for a while. I have a doctor's appointment on the 5th. But anyway, please keep Sherman in your prayers. I think, pray to God he's not getting sick again. And please keep my friend Elizabeth Jeffries in your prayers. I just talked to her today, and she's in her 80s and she's got diabetes. And she told me I haven't seen her. She didn't know I was in the hospital either. And I guess she was at her doctor's appointment here a while back. And the wind blew the door shut on her legs when she was getting in the vehicle. And you know older people have thinner skin. And it like really hurt her legs. And our doctor, we got the same doctor, has been cutting pieces out of her legs. And anyway, now she sent her to wound care to take care of her legs. And she's got home health care, thank God. And they come in, they're having to wrap up her legs every day to make sure they don't get infected and stuff. And she lives alone. Thank God she's got my phone number just in case. Because she's always falling and stuff. All the time she's always falling. And so please keep her in your prayers. And so I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's bring those souls to Jesus. And God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye guys. God bless. Happy birthday to my mom today.